let's start with the steel model. As you see, I have already a predefined steel model, but what I want to do is to add some more steel and a ladder. And as you also see, we do have a structural menu group. When you select the structural menu group, you will have the option to select a member, grid, railing, and so on and so forth. And of course, modify steel, cutting of steel, visibility, export, and so on and so forth. We can also show it as a line model. We can show it as outline model. We also have a cube, as you see in the upper right corner. That cube is very easy to use. You actually select the view you want to see, and you can see the whole view rotated compared to the selection you select. And you can see the front of the steel, top of the steel, and again you can then rotate it how you want, and then you also of course can just select the ISO views, but you also can drag it manually, as you see here. So let's start with the steel. Zoom into the area. This is my grid line. Then I will add more steel on this one. I will select the same steel, but I don't, let's see, we don't recognize the steel. I don't remember what it was, so then I can select member and then open the settings dialog box. That gives you, by the way, we have 3 different standards for the moment, and as you see, this is the grip points, and these grip points will be the reference points for your grid lines. If you then take a little look here, you can see we have different shapes and different size, of course. In this case, as I mentioned before, I don't remember what kind of steel I used. Then I can then I just select match properties and select existing steel. What's happened is actually comes up with the steel I used and also the grip points. So then I'm ready to start. Select OK and the endpoint to the endpoint. That's the steel. As you see, talked about before today, this is not, we don't deliver a detailed notching with plate, bolt, or things like that. We give it a simple notching, but that's what we actually need with the piping, because you only want to see the clash and if you have the space, all that stuff. If you want to go to structural detail, then you have to look into Revit structural detail. Okay, that was the steel. Then I want to create a ladder. As I also said, when I create a ladder, as you see, it's lots of components here, and then I can select line model. That gives me only the grid lines. It's easy to me to select what I want. Then I select the ladder and the settings for the ladder, and that gives you ability to give the stairs height, width, and so on and so forth, what kind of steel you want to use on your ladder, and the K. Select OK, and then select the start point, lower start point, the end point on the grid lines, and the top point, and of course I need a rotation for it. So I say 20 millimeters in angle 270. As you see, we now have a line model of our stairs, stairs ladders. Then I select outline model, and that's it. Very simple. The same thing with railing and so on and so forth. We can also use AutoCAD commands as copy, stretch, or things like that. That's something I'll come back to a little later when we do editing of the steel model. So that's enough about the steel models. I will save this one.